Happy New Year! Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Monosi Eats. I'm starting something called Sunday Prep Day, but we're not doing your usual prep meals. What we're gonna do is prep a few things that are gonna make the week easier. So that's the new year, new me. I'm doing that. So to begin with, we're gonna make some tortillas that we're gonna have for breakfast, lunch, or whatever throughout the week. To start with my very easy tortilla recipe, it is 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt, I'm gonna eyeball that, a teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 cup of oil, I'm eyeballing that too. Combine those and then going in with a cup of warm water, like warm to the touch. Stir, incorporate all of the water. Now that I've gathered all the flour, I'm going to transfer it to the surface and start kneading till it forms a smooth. If you don't knead your dough enough, you're going to struggle when it comes time to roll it out. I like to knead it for about 7 minutes. Once you have a bowl like this, put it back in this bowl, cover it, and set it aside to rest. Next up, I want to have some quinoa ready to go when I want to make like a salad or something. So I'm going to cook some quinoa, going in with a cup of quinoa that I'm about to rinse. Add it to a pot. To that, I'm going to add 2 cups of water, a little bit of chicken stock to give it flavor, garlic powder. We don't want no bland quinoa over here. Put it on the stove, get it to boil. Once it starts boiling, turn the heat down and let it simmer till it's fully cooked. The next thing that I want to have prepped is my sun-dried tomato pesto. Anyway, I'm my brain right now. I have a packet of sun-dried tomatoes that I soaked overnight and I placed them in the fridge. Now they're nice and juicy and they're going to be easy to blend. So pop them in a food processor. Reserve the water for a bit. 2 huge garlic cloves. I'm going to start with blending that. Got some olive oil over here. I'm not going to use a lot of oil. That's why we reserved some of the water. So that's about a 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. Let me go in with 2 tablespoons of the water. Just add in as much water as needed to help the mixture blend. Go in with a little bit more oil. I'm running out of olive oil and the price, this thing is too expensive. Salt, about a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. If you don't have nutritional yeast, you can go in with some Parmesan cheese. You want to make sure that it's as smooth as possible because you don't want to have like chunks of sun-dried tomatoes in there. I think I'm going to use all of the water that I was soaking in because it's looking a bit too thickums. And then I forgot to add some lemon juice to that. Squeezing in some lemon juice. And then what else is missing here? Some black pepper. Final blend. Taste. Perfection. Now she is a bit on the thickum side, but that's how I like her. And you know how expensive this is in store. Like, no, we're not doing that. Now this is perfect to use in your sandwiches or sauces if you want to like add a bit of a flavor bomb. This is amazing. So I'm gonna place this in the fridge and then I'm gonna have it ready to use throughout the week. And now the final thing on my Sunday prep day list is chili oil. I haven't had it in a while. I haven't made it in a while and I'm craving it. So I'm getting in as many red chilies into this mini food processor as possible. So I'm removing the stem off the pepper, chili. Guys, I can't stop complaining about the heat. I don't know if my sweat is coming through on camera, but sheesh. Don't be like me. Don't do this with your hands because you do this, you touch your eye, and then it's game over. But I found the best way to do it is to wash your hands with dishwashing soap immediately after you're done. Don't let them marinate on your hands, okay? Is that enough chilies? Is that enough chili? And then I'm gonna blend it up till it's like a fine chop. There we have a fine chop. I have taken off the lid of the quinoa so all of the water can evaporate. Next thing that needs some chopping is a few garlic cloves. 1 clove. 20 minutes later, the quinoa is fully cooked. I'm gonna let it cool down first. 2 cloves, 3 cloves, 4, 5 cloves. Chop them. See how quick that was? A few seconds and it's done. Like on prep day, it is important to use all your gadgets so it goes by quicker. Next up, some sprig onion. That chili has got to get a side assist now. 1 sprig, 2, 3, 4. That's enough. Blend. Okay, that doesn't want to blend up nicely. Now let's actually make our chili oil. I'm using some sunflower oil. Any neutral oil will help. I'm going in with about 1.5 cups of that. The oil is heating. I'm going to add all our chopped up veggies in there. Let those cook and release their flavors into the oil. Turn the heat down a bit more so it's on low. To this I'm going to add a few things. Cumin, like a teaspoon of each. Ground coriander, some chili powder. If you can't handle heat, skip chili powder because it's going to make it extra hot. Let the spices bloom. Takes about 30 seconds for the spices to bloom. Turn off the heat. And I usually add a bit of cinnamon, but since I've realized that I'm allergic, I'm not going to. But it's so good with cinnamon. So if you can, add to like 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon too. It is delicious with cinnamon, like so good. Going in with sugar. I'm gonna start with 2 tablespoons. That's like a tablespoon. Turn the heat off so the sugar can melt and not become caramel. And then it's important, you need to season your chili oil. I use soy sauce as my seasoning. Soy sauce for seasoning. I think that's ready. Stove off. While the chili is cooling down, before we put it in their respective jars, we've got to move on to our dough and the dough, tortilla dough. So I'm gonna pinch it like so with my thumb and my pointy finger and then create a ball like that. I got 12 balls. Now let me show you my trick for rolling it out. Flour the surface liberally, get your ball and then flatten it out like that. I roll it out until I have an oval. Make sure you roll out from one end to the other and then you have an oval like this. Once I have an oval, I turn it vertically and repeat the process. Flip it around, roll it till you have an oval. We add an oval again, vertically, oval, vertically. This time I'm gonna go for a circle and then I know I'm done. Okay, no, let me go for oval once more, like that. And then now I'm going for the circle. And there I have my circle tortilla. Let's do all of these. I got a pan over the stove that I'm heating up. It's non-stick. You definitely don't need a non-stick pan. And we're gonna cook these. No oil, no nothing in the pan. Just plop them in there. Wait for them to start bubbling. And then on the side, you're gonna need a fatu, a clean fabric. See, it's bubbling up like that. Flip it. Wait for the other side. It's quick. Few seconds. In, out, in, out. That's why it's important to have them all rolled out. A beautiful soft tortilla that I burnt my hand with. Next one. Don't use your hands at home, okay? She's a professional. Don't try this at home. Yo, I forgot this one. Flip. Last one. Look at all the deliciousness we have here. All of our tortillas. The last one. Done. Stove off. Now that my oil is cooled down, get in some oil, some of the solids. This is messy. Some more oil for frying my eggs and stuff. And then we have my chili oil. You see, we got a lot of chili oil here. Let me clean up after myself. I ended up putting my hair up because this heat is gonna kill me. Now this chili oil doesn't store long in the fridge, as I have used fresh ingredients, so take that into account. I'm gonna have this in the fridge for probably like a week and a half if it lasts till it. Yes, that's how much chili I go through. Then we have our things. We have the chili, our tortillas, sun-dried tomato pesto. Look at that, nice and fluffy quinoa. To store your tortillas, place them in an airtight container and then place them in the fridge. And then you have them. I think they could last up to 2 weeks because there's no fresh ingredients in them. And then to warm them up, it's better to warm them up directly on like open flame, like if on your stove, directly on your stove, not in a pan, so they don't dry out. It works best on gas to warm them up and make them pliable. Thank you for joining me on Sunday Prep Day. We've prepped all of our ingredients to make our week go by easier, quicker, better, more delicious. So if you like the video, please press the thumbs up button. I really appreciate that. And then subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Thank you for joining me. Bye bye.